So here come the seniors on to the track, ready for their first bit of racing for today, and who can take maximum points within the senior class later on in finals. But of course there's still points to be scored in the pre-final as well. The way the grid lines up for this one, after the best day possible yesterday, pretty much, Jordan Brown-Nutley will start from the front of the grid on pole position. Alongside him, last year's junior champion, that is Jack McCarthy again. A really good drive yesterday to get himself onto that front row. Onto row 2 we then see Dennis Mavlinov and Josh White in kart 221. Row 3 headed by Adrian Renadan and Nicholas Scholl, who was our Winter Cup winner from the Spanish event in Valencia around about 6 weeks ago. He's there in 6th position. Row 4 then has our female racer Jess Backman and Gary Donnelly on the outside. Row 5 then is Sam Marsh. Watch out for Sam. All of his heats yesterday pretty much he worked his way through to the front. So what can he do in this pre-final? We'll find out. Alongside him it's going to be local man Noah Roovers in kart 253. On to row 6 is then going to be Charlie Turnup and Kay Van Berlo, brother to Glenn, who we've just seen out in that junior race. And then back on row number 7 it's going to be Rinus van Kanthout, last year's runner-up in seniors, and Berke Besler, who was quickest on Friday in qualifying, but again one of the poor heat yesterday has put him down 14th on the grid. Row 8 then sees Luke Wilhelms and Felix Varga. Row 9 is Ed Brand and Paul Everard. Watch out for that row. Row 10 is going to be Nico Laithanen and Roman Jalou. Row 11 is Glenn Van Police and Josh Skelton. Row 12 sees Lars Van Vark and Charlie Anderson. On to row 13 is then David Remy and Hugo Krushkon. Row 14 is Tommy Drouet and Daniel Vogt. Row 15, these ones that made it through this morning's second chance heat, Josh Collins and Lucas Bryan. Row 16, Philip Vocevic and Kasper Korjus. And the final row to round out our 34 runners is Christopher Drayspring, and Ruud Bergedink is the final man to make it through after this morning's race. So, as we said, 13 laps of racing to look forward to. From front to back, 34 karts, which is an impressive field once again for the seniors. Unfortunately, 16 have been unlucky not to make it through to get any points this weekend. So they're going to go home very unhappy, but they'll then focus their attentions on the second round at Sette Laghi in Italy in the middle of May. Jordan Brown-Nutley there you can see in 252, Strawberry Racing for this year. 218 alongside him, which is his teammate Jack McCarthy. And then, of course, as we said, the row behind is Dennis Mavlinov. There in kart 210. He races with the KR Sport team, and then of course Josh White is alongside that in 221. Again, another man who is racing with Coles Racing here this weekend. So a very exciting senior field to look forward to this year as they kick off that first round of the championship. There's 205. Watch out, as we said, for that man Sam Marsh. Stormed his way through yesterday. He's on the inside run down towards turn 1, so that could be very interesting to watch out for. 13 laps, the seniors about to go once more. Here we go onto the start finish line. Can they have a good start? Let's have a look. A little bit of bump in there for Jordan Brown-Nutley as he gets underway as we head down to the start of the race in towards the first corner, and Jordan Brown-Nutley holds it for now, being pushed all the way from Dennis Mavlinov, and a great move down the inside line there for Adrian Renadan, who comes straight through a massive melee at turn 1 though. There's about 10-12 cars that have all been involved. They all try and get themselves back on track. One of those, by the looks of it, is Dennis Mavlinov from the second row of the grid in kart 210, and the other one there that's been caught up is that possibly Berke Besler. It may well be in kart 209. We'll try and get a closer look on that one, but if it is, that has turned into a disastrous weekend after qualifying on pole position from Friday. But Adrian Renadan, he found the smallest of gaps to get his way through, and he heads the field heading down towards turn number 8. Jordan Brown-Nutley is there in second. Third place behind him is 256, which is his teammate, and that is going to be from the 6th row, Charlie Turner. What a gap he found as well. And then behind them we've got 245, which is the likes of another good start from someone who is a little bit lower down on the grid. Watch out for that man to fly as well as they work their way through. That's Kay Van Berlo as the move is coming a little bit further back, and also one towards the front. Jordan Brown-Nutley goes for a charge on Adrian Renadan. He goes out wide, he gets back just onto the track in second place, and watch out as well for Charlie Turner, who is on some tremendous form at the minute as he works his way on towards turn 4. He looks for second place now down the inside of Adrian Renadan, and Jordan Brown-Nutley's been caught out as well. He's been shuffled down to potentially 4th or 5th place here. Yeah, down to 6th place in fact he goes. So Jordan Brown-Nutley very slow through turn 4. He had the charge in Charlie Turner and Adrian Renadan coming through, and he had no real response to that one. So he drops down to 6th behind Gary Donnelly, Kay Van Berlo and Nicholas Scholl, who's made progress up into 3rd place. Right, let's have a look at what happened. Do I? No, not yet. Yeah, I will do. Have a look at what happened at turn 1 on that first lap. We lost Christopher Drayspring, Lucas Bryan, Lars van Vark. Berke Besler was in there. He's gone down to 31st place along with Dennis Mavrinov. Noah Ruvers at his home circuit, and Nico Leitonen as well was involved as Adrian Renadan goes for a move at the lead at turn 1. He gets through on Charlie Turner as he works his way through. He takes with him as well the Winter Cup winner, Nicholas Scholl, who has struggled this weekend, but whenever they turn attention to finals day, he seems to do well. So Nicholas Scholl is back up there into second place now, behind Adrian Renadan. Behind Adrian Renadan. Just waiting for the screen to change there. So he's behind that all blue cart, and again the train starts to build. We've got 6 carts all in there. Jordan Brown-Nutley is now, where is he in the order? He is a little bit further back. We lost Jordan Brown-Nutley as well over that last lap. He's down to 9th place. Possibly a little bit further back now. Where has he gone to? Even further on the start of this one. So I think we've lost our pole man, Jordan Brown-Nutley, as well. So we'll get that confirmed as they come through, as the leaders head their way in towards the final corner. Many more changes to be had on this lap as Nicholas Scholl looks for the lead down towards the first corner. And what can Nicholas Scholl do? He gets a nice gap opened up there on Adrian Renadan. Adrian has to give way, and Nicholas Scholl now takes over the lead of the race for Strawberry Racing. Slight adjustment there on the right of the cart, just to make sure it's performing to its best ability. There goes a move as well. 3rd place changes, 2nd place changes, because through went Gary Donnelly and Kay Van Berlo. They now jump ahead of Adrian Renadan, who has lost places from 1st to 4th in the space of one corner. He gets over the curb, pushes Kay Van Berlo a little bit further back there. So Adrian now gets himself back into 3rd. Charlie Turner follows through into 4th place. And again, the train gets longer and longer. I don't know how many more we can fit into this race, but there are quite a few heading down towards turn number 8. Another move there, a little bit lower back. I just want to take your attention to what's happened to Jordan Brown-Nutley. He's dropped out of the race as well. Down to 29th place has gone Jordan, so real dramas there for him. Last year's runner-up, Rinus van Kamthor, is down in 21st place. And the other one I want to mention as well, but I can't remember for now, is someone I'll pick up on it in a few minutes' time. But Nicholas Scholl still leads. The gap now to 6/10 of a second. Gary Donnelly is there in 2nd. Adrian Renadan, the blue cart, you can see in 3rd. He's been hounded all the time by Charlie Turner. Then another slight gap back to 5th place, which is Sam Marsh, again making progress from 10th on the grid, or was it 9th? One of those, yeah, 9th on the grid it was for Sam. He's now up into 5th as Glenn Van Paddis has come through. Great ride there from Glenn, up what's going to be 14 places. So they've all kind of jumped up the order, and we've lost quite a few of the front runners down towards the back as well. The other one I was going to mention was Jack McCarthy. He's down to 12th place. Last year's junior champion. He lost 10 positions off the start, so he languishes down in 12th position. So a very eventful first few laps. Dramas for some, good news for others who have worked their way towards the front of this field. But Nicholas Scholl is starting to open up a nice healthy gap now over the rest of the chasing pack. He goes through now with a half a second lead over Gary Donnelly. Adrian Renadan is there in 3rd. Change for 4th as through the inside comes Sam Marsh, once again making great progress within his races this weekend. So Sam jumps up into 4th place. Glenn Van Paddis is going to try and go with him here. Watch out for Glenn, who was my pick for the Winter Cup, but didn't quite deliver, unfortunately. This weekend, I've gone for Jack McCarthy, who again is a little bit lower down than expected. But as they work their way off the back straight down towards turn number 5, no real change amongst the front runners this time. There is one of the Coles Racing carts on the back of that train. That's Josh Skelton. Behind him is now Luke Verlelms in cart 212, and then David Remy and Jack McCarthy now up into the top 10. After the end of that 5th lap of the race. We're now on lap number 6, coming up to half race distance, near enough in this 13 lap encounter. The gap has come down at the front though, and Nicholas Scholl has been caught almost by Gary Donnelly as they charge down towards the first turn again. Nicholas Scholl goes for a fairly defensive line. There goes Sam Marsh for another move. On now this time, 3rd place man Adrian Renadan. So Sam Marsh continues. Could he possibly get to the lead of the race and pick up a victory in pre-final? Again, that'd be a story to tell after this race. He's done so well from row number 5. Again, he has a quick glance over his shoulder just to check where Adrian Renadan is, and if potentially Adrian, normally quite fiery, is the Frenchman. He goes for a few lunges and a few moves that sometimes work, other times don't quite work, but Adrian is looking now to get back past on Sam Marsh. He's not really having to defend there from the guys behind because they're not quite close enough down towards turn 8. So Glenn Van Paddis remains in 5th, and Charlie Turner there in 6th place. Here are our leaders in towards the final corner. That's Nicholas Scholl and Gary Donnelly. On towards the front stretch they come. The gap that time does briefly come down to just under 3/10 of a second now. Still good fighting going on just a little bit further back from the top 4 places. There is still Sam Marsh for the Dan Holland racing team. And then behind him, Adrian Renadan, as we said. 5th and 6th is also fairly close there. Glenn Van Parijs in 206, who races, of course, with Bivon Power. And then behind him, Charlie Turner in 256, who's with the similar colours of, I think he's with Strawberry Racing, not, of course, confirmed on our entry list, but I think that's the Strawberry Racing coloured cart, possibly. Second through to now, probably about 6th or 7th is, again, bunching back together. So Sam Marsh heads that little train. You can see in there as well, Jack McCarthy is still doing well, making further progress, now up into 9th place, just behind the cart there of Luke Verlelms. In fact, he's made up another place this time round. He's now into 8th position. He's got behind him, on his tail, the likes of Josh Skelton and Kay Van Berlo, who's dropped down to 10th place. But still Sam Marsh there in 3rd. Can he catch the top 2? His lap time was a 56.2 that time round. The leaders are doing near enough the same, or just a little bit slower, 56.3. As Adrian Renadan goes and takes that place away. Not for long though, just the entrance of the corner. Then Sam Marsh pulls back alongside down the back straight, and here comes Glenn Van Parijs for a move as well. He goes through on Adrian Renadan, but now he's finally got the door shut there, so Adrian will not let any more through for now, although he's still got the hounding Charlie Turner on his tail, who goes through. There goes Luke Verlelms as well through on that occasion, and just like that, if they're so close together, Adrian Renadan has gone from what was 4th in that race now down to possibly 8th position by the looks of it. And next on the list to get through is going to be Josh Skelton in kart 235, because Jack McCarthy has already gone through as well. Just to let you know, a little bit further back there for the lead though is still Nicholas Scholl and Gary Donnelly, a 4/10 of a second gap between them two on this occasion. So it opens up slightly that time round, so a better lap from Nicholas Scholl, 56.2, and a Gary Donnelly lap of a 56.3. There's the next train, still being headed by Sam Marsh in 3rd, Glenn Van Parijs in 4th, Charlie Turner now a little bit distant in 5th place. There you can see the cart of Sam Marsh in 3rd as they focus their way through the chicane at turn 5 onto the double right-hander at turn 6. Glenn's looking at, again, a little bit more fiercer here within this race, looking to get himself up inside the top 3 position. So let's see if he can get it done down towards turn 8. Not quite close enough there, so again he has to wait for the opportunity to arise. We've now got 3 laps to go. It'll be at the end of this lap, so 3 to go for the leaders. They turn their way through the last turn. The gap out front again, pretty consistent. Don't think it changes much from 4/10. Yeah, stays about the same that time. And there goes a move for 3rd. Glenn Van Parijs finally gets down the inside of Sam Marsh. So very well done there. He's been lining that up for the last couple of laps. So the Bivon Power man now goes through into 3rd. Watch out though, Sam Marsh looking to fight back straight away, but he wasn't quite close enough in towards turn 4. Doesn't get the best of exits out of the hairpin, so again he has to try and pick up the best toe possible and maybe make a move towards the end of the lap, maybe down towards turn 10. He'll try and sort something out, but Sam Marsh now is going to try and keep away from the next man in line here, which is Charlie Turner, because he's now again caught those 2 ahead. Who is he going to take with him? Well, Jack McCarthy has made it back up to 6th place, so well done to Jack after the kind of turmoil of turn 1. It's now looking good towards the end of this pre-final. We've got 2 laps to go for the leaders as they cross the line at this time. 11 laps now completed into the books, and the rest of the field charged down towards that first corner. Still again, the gap grows between the top 2, Nicholas Scholl and Gary Donnelly. And then 3rd place, Glenn Van Parijs is there with Sam Marsh on his tail in 4th. Charlie Turner still there or thereabouts. Jack McCarthy, and also on the back of that train is Luke Verlelms in 212. So that's the fight for 3rd place. They accelerate down the back straight once more in towards turn 5. Sam Marsh again picks up a good trail of speed there. A nice toe as well being given away off the back of Glenn Van Parijs' car. But again, when he wants to attack, he needs to defend at the same time, does Sam. So he can't really make any more inroads into the back of our 3rd place, Glenn Van Parijs. There's Adrian Renadan, recovered himself into 8th. Josh White 9th, and Josh Skelton is in 10th place. Ed Brand is still trying to make up positions. It seems to be whenever he steps back into a senior kart, he starts to struggle. But when he was with the DD2s at the Winter Cup, he flew through the field and really adapted well to the class. But here this weekend, not looking too good. A circuit he normally goes really well on, but at the minute Ed Brand struggling down in 12th position. Here's Sam Marsh now, under attack still from those 3 behind. Charlie Turner, Jack McCarthy and Luke Verlelms. Luke Verlelms goes for the high, wide and handsome line in towards turn 4. He then gets the cut back onto the back straight. Again, not quite the acceleration he needs there to get through, so he stays in 7th position. We're on the final lap, by the way, so we've just got 3 or 4 more corners to go for our leader, which is still Nicholas Scholl. Again, he's extended it to now 7/10 of a second over Gary Donnelly. So those two are going to be set to start on the front row for the final. They've made their way through. They're on the way to the final corner around about now. Here he comes, Nicholas Scholl, down towards the turn 10 part of the circuit. Through he comes. Winter Cup winner is now the pre-final winner at round 1 of the Rotax Max Euro Challenge. It's Nicholas Scholl who goes through to take the honours ahead of Gary Donnelly by 6/10 of a second. Glenn Van Parijs, what a race that turned out to be for him. 18 places gained from 21st on the grid. Watch out for that man. Definitely now in the finals. Behind them, another good progress made by Sam Marsh up to 4th. Charlie Turner came home 5th, and last year's junior champion did well for himself there, 6th place for Jack McCarthy. Luke Valens was in 7th place. Adrian Renadan came home 8th, the Frenchman. 9th place for Josh White. 10th place was Josh Skelton. 11th for Ed Brand, and it was Paul Everard who came home inside the top 12. There's the rest of the results you can see on your screen, and of course you'll see some big names a little bit lower down as well, the likes of Jordan Brown Nutley, who did finish 29th place, but we'll need to find out what happened to him after that pre-final. We'll try and do the investigation work before the final gets underway, possibly on the final grid when we go down there for our grid walk. But well done to Nicholas Scholl. He again worked his way through 5 places up to win the pre-final and take with it 34 points ahead of Gary Donnelly and Glenn Van Parijs.